Well, hello everyone. This is Krista Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Coming from Menifee, California, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I have just an important message that's been on my heart this morning that I felt like I wanted to share. As you guys see in my title, this is the second most important message I've ever shared. And if you want to see the first most important message I've ever shared, you can go on my channel and find that. I will warn you, it is a little bit more of a vulnerable side of me where I share a little bit more about my life behind the scenes. And I guess today that's what I'm going to be doing, is sharing a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes of this channel. And I just want to tell you guys before you think, oh great, now we're going to listen to somebody else's story. And who really cares? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the deal is, my intention in sharing my stories with you guys and sharing my life, often raw, behind the scenes moments, is to help you reflect on your own life and help you think that maybe if this crazy girl from California can get out there and share her story, that I could do the same. And that is my intention behind what I do on this channel. Also to bring you awesome, hopefully awesome, astrological perspectives, or at least another astrological perspective. So in my message today, I'm going to start out with talking a little bit about what's going on up in the sky, and then share a little bit about some perspectives that I want to bring to you guys. So first of all, as we speak, we've got two planets retrograde, and I want to talk about these two players right now, okay? There's a lot more going on up in the sky, but we're just going to talk about two players. The two planets that are retrograde right now is Saturn in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Leo. So all of the fire energy that we've all been so excited about, wanting to get out of this Saturn and Scorpio energy that's had us all behind the scenes and quiet and dealing with heavy stuff. Now Saturn says, come on out. What did you learn during that time? And wants to ignite this voice in us, okay? But the thing about it is this is a 2.5-year transit, Saturn and Sag, as you know. These Saturn transits take 2.5 years to get around the sun, approximately. And this Saturn is about knowing what your voice is and being free in it, okay? Jupiter in Leo is about the ultimate expression of your creativity. Now, don't forget, we have Neptune in Pisces in the backdrop, okay, that hasn't been in our atmosphere for 165 years, you guys. Do you realize how special this time is? Now, I often share with you guys, and I'm a Pisces rising and a moon in Pisces, and I share with you about my chart because I am one of those astrologers that, you know, like to be open about the energies that I work with. So you guys can observe and, you know, wonder and question. And those of you who have similar energies will relate or know that I can relate to you. Not everybody's going to relate to my whole Pisces thing, but those of you who do, I share that part of myself because that's who I am. I can't take that away. I can't make that any different. And so because Neptune has moved into Pisces in 2012, this hit my life very hard, okay? Now, two things happened. One, I opened up to a completely creative concept in my life that I could finally express myself. It's like having these abilities, but never an open door. It's never accepted. It's like you've got to hide this side of you or keep it in this box because nobody can handle your freedom or your creative ideas. So when Neptune in Pisces came in, it was like, oh my gosh, the energy just blew open the doors for me. And I don't know how else to explain it. But at the same time, when Neptune moved into Pisces, I started suffering from severe anxiety. So maybe many of you guys can relate. So here I am going through this whole creative expression, and in the backdrop dealing with, you know, this whole new vibe going through my body. My body is trying to handle all of this energy. So the anxiety is really about my body trying to handle this freedom and wanting to push me out there. And then the other side of me, you guys know the Sun in Virgo, the other side of me wanting to, you know, control it and don't do it, and you're not perfect enough, and all that crazy stuff that holds us back. I share this with you because I'm just one of many people in this world learning how to handle these things. Now, interestingly enough, when I am in the zone, okay, I call the sweet spot, when I am reading charts for others or using my gift, when everything comes together, excuse my window breeze there, when everything comes together, I'm in the zone. The anxiety's gone. I know I'm in the right place. I'm giving out this gift. I'm letting it go through me. And those are the most awesome moments. Those are the moments I live for because that's when I'm in the right place. That's when I'm doing and exercising this, all of these gifts together. And so what I want to share with you about this is what's going on in your life. What is your creative expression? What is your story? So many people right now are locked in the prison of fear, are locked in just a time where they're afraid, or they have so many people's other voices in their head. And you got to remember, especially depending on what generation you're born in, we have a job to do by opening up and by speaking our individual voices. In this day and age with Neptune and Pisces in the backdrop, it's really all about telling your authentic story. That's what people want to hear. Even celebrities today have their own Facebooks and are taking their own selfies and telling everybody what they're doing. Never in history have celebrities shared that side of themselves. They would only show themselves in the most incredible light. And yet they're coming down to this level, so to speak, that we're at, say, I'm just using them as an example to show you guys that we want to know the real stories. We want to know the real struggles. We don't really want to idolize any one person anymore, because we have the ability to be our own story, our own star in life, put our own stamp in, okay? This process is a process that we're all in. And Facebook, I want to talk about Facebook a minute, has been one of the greatest and yet hardest platforms for people to express themselves. And because so many people judge each other. And then so many people look at other people's lives and think, oh, I'm not that confident to show my life like that. Or I don't have a story. So when people do show their lives, you know, we get irritated. It just brings about, it's stirring a lot of energy. But what you have to understand, okay, what you have to understand is, if you look at this from a little different perspective, Facebook, YouTube, social media, on any level, okay, you may not be crazy enough to get it behind a screen like some of us out here and talk to it like we're talking to you. I mean, this is crazy, really, if you think about it. But there's something that draws us that's bigger than this screen and bigger than our egos and bigger than, hey, you know, we have a message, we have a voice, we have something we need to share. And no longer are we able to keep it in. So Facebook can become a place for you to tell your story. You know, those selfies are no longer lonelies. Those selfies are a document of you at a certain date and a certain time doing a certain thing. Someday, someone's going to read your story. It might be your kids. Someday, somebody's going to look back and look at your legacy. And your story is going to be written out. Don't be afraid anymore to express yourself. Don't look around at what everybody else is doing and compare yourself. We have to stop that, because if you want to be successful in this day and age, whether you're creative and you want to have a creative expression, an entrepreneurial business, you know, kind of like what's going on, what we're all doing up here, you have to be in a place that your message is greater than you, that you have something you have to share. No other time in history has the backyard person been able to share their life story. And this is such a powerful time. Now, for me, for my personal story, I share with you guys, because I come from the Pluto and Virgo generation. I'm in a very specific niche. There's so many people out here, and I'm going to just use, for an example, the astrological community, which I adore. All of you guys, every one of you, I am impressed with and respect highly for coming out here and sharing. So you guys see that I bring other astro nerds and astrologers on, and I also share some of the top astrologers that I can, because I want you guys to see that I'm teachable, and I want you guys to see lots of different perspectives. We have to understand this stuff, because for those of us who are mothers and that are born in the 60s, we've got kids now that we have to understand astrologically. No other time in history are we raising astro kids. So you'll see me share with you things about being a mother and bringing my kids on board. I'm searching, I'm looking, I'm trying to raise my kids differently and not hold them back, and let them be freer and let them be who they are and expressing who they are. Because for so many of us, we spent our whole years growing up being suppressed. And so I share some of that with you guys. I share my life, what I have. You know, I built this channel on literally, you know, other than my Mac computer, which is awesome, you know, on my own creative venture here. I didn't have money for advertising. I've got an old iMovie that I, you know, learned to edit, and I love to write. I'm a terrible editor, so, you know, I have to do it all right now to come out here. But you know what? I'm out here and I'm doing it. Imperfect, showing you some behind the scene areas of my life. And, you know, I have to say that I know I'm a little all over the place, but hang with me, guys. With Saturn in Sag and Jupiter and Leo going retrograde, have been retrograde, we're all looking, we're all reviewing. Retrograde means review. Go back, take a look. And with Saturn and Sag, there's going to be a lot of people coming out of the woodworks in your lives, and a lot of opinions, and a lot of messages, and a lot of what people think. But at the end of the day, you got to hear your voice. And if anybody is pushing their voice onto you and bringing you down or bringing in confusion, you have to look deep within and ask yourself, what is your message? And are you willing to stand by it? And are you willing to believe in it? Because that's what this time is about. It's finding your voice. It's being the master of your own life. And I show you my life, and I tell you my stories, so you guys can look at your own life and question your own stories. It's not about look at me, look at me. Okay, I'm a dime a dozen. All right. It's about, I have a story, and if I can ignite in you your story, then I've done my job. If I can show you that I'm not perfect, and believe me, being a Virgo, it kills me to not be perfect, but I purposely come on here and I'm not perfect. I mean, right now, if I wanted to, my eye could be attracted to that, or is it that little white spot on my wall that needs to be painted? But you know what? The Pisces energy in me says, go with the flow, honey. Go with the flow. That's what's not important. It's more important that I show you that I can get on here with that little white spot. Okay. I work these things out. I think about them because I'm trying to free myself. And when you guys come for a reading with me, I'm not going to tell you that I have the almighty message from God for you. I'm going to read the energy around you and help you become the intuitive listener of your own life. You make the decisions, because I don't want that responsibility of saying that I have this almighty message and that I'm the only one who can read what goes on around you, as far as, you know, the ultimate message to your heart. That's between you and God, or you and how you express your spirituality. My job is to show you the options, to give you a few warnings, and to show you how to prepare. And then you take that and run with it. Because maybe it's because I'm in from the Pluto and Virgo generation. My energy is here to heal. I was born in one of those crazy transits, you guys, with Sun, Jupiter, Uranus conjunct in Virgo. And Sun, Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto conjunct in Virgo. I'm here to help heal the earth. Now, when you guys watch the astrology out here, you're going to see amazing young astrologers coming up. And I'm telling you right now, their minds are absolutely brilliant in being able to understand this stuff. But a lot of them come from the Pluto and Scorpio generation. So they're going to be talking to you about the deep psychological shadows of astrology. That's so intriguing. I love all that stuff. But for me, I have to be careful. I've already made it on the other end of a lot of that stuff, you guys. I've been through it all. Some of those have not really been through what they're talking about yet. So once you go through it, you have a little different perspective, and you surely don't want to keep dredging it up, because you want to heal from it. And I'm here on the other side of what's considered a Uranus opposing Uranus transit. When you go through that transition after 35, you guys, I'm on the other side. And I'm going to come from a little different perspective. I'm going to come as a healer from all that psychological crap that we've all been through. Okay. Those that are sharing and preparing and showing you about astrology, the deeper, darker sides, it's important too. But, you know, then we have the Pluto and Libra astrologers that are saying, hey, let's all come together. Let's work this out. And that's beautiful. Then we have the awesome Jupiter and Leo astrologers that are really giving astrology a beautiful, brilliant, you know, name out here. Okay, I'm a Virgo. I'm sitting on the back of the tailgate. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the generation of Led Zeppelin, and, you know, I've got the hippie in me. And, you know, I raised my kid a little more free, barefoot, and long-haired. You know, that's the generation I'm from, and that's what I'm going to show you. It's not about judgment or wanting people to, again, have to compare themselves to me. I'm showing you an example of somebody living their life and doing this thing. You know, I struggle behind the scenes with all the same things you guys do. You know, a lot of times I'll be trying to make videos, and I've got my son, you know, breaking things around the corner, and, you know, I've got to stop after trying to have this intense conversation that I've been having, and then I got to start all over again, and it's just crazy. But that's the reality. But here's what it is. I get up, you guys. I get up every day and I show up. I show up for my children. I show up for my husband, and I show up for you. And that's what I can offer. I show up. And I understand what you guys are going through because I go through it too. So this message in closing is about this time frame right now being in retrograde. There's a lot of review and there's a lot of people questioning themselves. Yeah, it's okay to question. It's okay to let people question. But at the end of the day, when you go to bed at night, you got to stand by your belief because it's in your belief and in your crazy expression and in your way of coming out in the world, doing it your way. That was what people need to see. Don't compromise that for anyone, okay? Be all that you're created to be. As Jupiter moves direct, we're 10 days away, so I'm getting all stirred up. I've got Mars and Leo, so this is I'm feeling it, you know. I want to come out now. I'm going to come out fighting, you know. It's like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I have Saturn and Sag in the 10th house of my voice of career. So my videos are changing. I'm going deeper. I'm going a little longer. I'm teaching you guys from a different perspective. Those of you who like my style will follow it. Those of you who want something quick and easy and can't get into all that deep stuff, I might not be the one that you follow. Or maybe there'll just be something that resonates with you. But the bottom line is I got to be true to me. And this is my expression to you, to teach you how to be free in your expression. All right, you guys. So thank you for all your support. You guys are what helps me be accountable to not falling down and sabotaging my life in, you know, craze, because I have a reason to get up. I have a reason. I have something to say, and I have somebody who will listen, even if it's one person that will listen. You guys are awesome, and you guys have given me so much, you know, and I do this because I read your messages, I read your emails, and I know you understand what I'm talking about. So I don't know if all that made sense, but I hope that something resonated with you today. And the bottom line is, guys, is that Saturn and Sag is about being the master of your own life, write your own story. All right, guys. Have a great afternoon.